I remember it very clearly. I always thought that it was my fault.
I thought he was just a nice guy.
It seemed like he was trying to look out for me.
He was drinking a lot.
I had never had sex before.
I never did feel like this could happen to me.
And I begged over and over and over again, please stop, please stop.
Sexual assault affects everyone across the board, whether you're a victim directly or maybe someone you know. Women at the ages of 18 to 25 are at the highest risk of being a victim of sexual assault.
We know that there's definitely a higher incident in college-age women, and in campuses it may be that our numbers are higher because it might be the first time that someone's, living on their own. They have a lot of autonomy, and I think it's young people. It's maybe the first time that they really have a lot of independence. We do see many of the patients in this age group may come in and say there was alcohol involved. They were drinking that night.
Drugs and alcohol kind of lowers the inhibition, and it puts victims more at risk.
We do know that perpetrators who perpetrate this crime, they look for a vulnerable person. They will actually look for someone maybe who has been drinking more or who is separated from the group.
I think we all grew up to worry about the guy jumping out of the bushes. And while that does happen, 84% of our victims know their attacker.
If you look statistically and we say 1 in 4 girls are sexually assaulted during their college career, it really is it's a time where women are really at high risks.
College-age women don't realize the risks. I don't think they think it could happen to them.
I never thought that anything like this could happen because I always thought that rape was something really violent, but the date rape thing is really different because you're with someone that you think you know and you just totally get taken advantage of.
To feel violated feels like you feel like you've been exposed, you feel like you're naked, like you have no clothes on. You have no control over that feeling.
I had gone on vacation, Christmas break with my family. There was going to be a toga party at the hotel that night, and I thought I was really cool, gonna be hanging out, having a good time, and I was gonna hook up with this guy.
It was when the party was basically winding down and everybody was going into the rooms or crashing to go to sleep, and I had went into bed where I thought I was safe.
I remember making out with him and stuff, and then the next thing I knew, I was on top of him, and I didn't even know what was happening.
This man came beside me to lay down, and I was already sleeping. The way I was laying was sideways, so he put his hand, still not knowing that someone's behind me, put his hands in my pants to touch me. And I flipped out, and I panicked and told him to get out.
I was really ashamed of myself. I didn't know what had happened because it all happened so fast.
Initially, I felt panicked, and I immediately started crying, and I felt a sense of out of control.
At first, I just thought that I had put myself in a really bad position. I always thought that it was my fault that had happened.
But there was no way that, that it was my fault.
I thought about it every day, and it totally ate me up inside because I didn't understand what had happened to me.
I got very depressed over it. I was sad, very sad. And this went on for days.
And I always said that I wanted to report him, like go there to this where he lived and knock on his door and say, you know, this is what you did to me, but I never did.
I think we really need to believe the victim and help them get through their traumatic situation. Get them to a hospital. Get them a hotline number. Take them to the police department.
We pretty much sit down with them and say, you know, what is it that you need right now? They're very concerned about sexually transmitted diseases or possibly being exposed to HIV, maybe an unwanted pregnancy. They're the type of things that we can take care of in the healthcare arena. Throughout the process, we get consent from the patient. You know, do they want to have a rape kit collected? Do they want law enforcement involved? So I think it's the first time they're kind of empowered to make choices again.
I think we all have a role and a responsibility, and I think that we need to get away from it's none of my business. I think if you see a girl intoxicated and you see things going on, you need to say something or you need to go and get help.
People who are reporting are actually standing up and also saying it's not okay, we're not accepting it, and we want to make a difference in our kind of societal norm, that we don't want this to happen, we don't want these numbers to be so high.
You know, for women out there, like this is not okay to be violated, whether the circumstance be you are drinking alcohol and it's definitely not consented, like it's not okay and you need to speak up.
This, like the first time I decided to tell somebody, it was a girlfriend, and I still felt ashamed of the fact of what had happened to me. But now I don't mind talking about it. I think it's something that women need to know about.